Welcome into another edition of Sports Junkies. I'm Steve Sparky Fifer from AM 1250 and Sports Radio 105.7 FM The Fan in Milwaukee, co-host of the Wendy's Big Show weekday afternoons from 2 until 6. He, of course, Gery Woelfel, columnist here at the Racine Journal-Times. It's time to do a little Becca talk as we talk about the undefeated Green Bay Packers. And guess what? The bye week came at a good time. Now they got guys healthy. Morgan Burnett expected to play. Devontae Adams expected to play. B.J. Raji expected to play. Now all of a sudden a team that got through 2 or 3 games hurt now gets everybody back outside of Jordy Nelson, and they're going to be healthy Sunday night for the Denver Broncos.
16-0.
You've been saying it.
I've been saying that from like week 2,
yep.
Week 3. I think this is going to be a severe test on Monday night or Sunday night. Excuse me, with Denver. I hope Aaron Rodgers plays better than I speak.
Let's see, look, this is the thing. I mean, Denver's defense is very good. Okay,
Von Miller is a beast.
Do you know who the number 1 defense in the NFL is right now? Points allowed.
Green Bay.
The Packers.
Green Bay.
Green Bay. By 1 point better than the Denver Broncos or the Minnesota Vikings points allowed. They've given up like 101 points, and the Broncos and Vikings have given up like 102. But either way, they're number 1. Now, my question to you is, do you think they can maintain being the number 1 defense in the NFL points allowed for the entire season?
Absolutely. They're in the NFC North. I mean,
do you think they can be a top 5 scoring offense the entire season?
Absolutely.
If they are number 1 in scoring defense and top 5 in scoring offense, that's a Super Bowl team.
Pretty close. But again, we talked about this briefly. I still have concerns about their left cornerback, whoever it may be. You know, if you play Hayward over there or if you play one of the rookies over there. That is a very, very suspect area. And the really good teams, the really good passing teams are going to attack it.
The great thing is there's not a lot of great quarterbacks now.
Correct. I mean, Phillip Rivers absolutely exposed the Packers in the pass coverage. And if you recall, they came into that game and they isolated a tight end on Clay Matthews. Remember that?
Yep.
And I'm sitting there watching it as the play unfolds, and I go, why is Dom Capers putting Clay Matthews in that position? Well, the obvious happened. The tight end beat Clay Matthews. Clay Matthews is an impact outside linebacker, but if you get him in coverage, he's not going to stick with guys. So
now he's the inside linebacker.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he is. And I saw an article earlier this week, during the bye week, actually last week, during the bye week, and they were talking about draft needs for the Green Bay Packers. And in that article, they were making the case that Clay Matthews will stay at inside linebacker, and that outside linebacker will be what they target. Julius Peppers is getting older. Mike Neal and Nick Perry free agency is coming up. And I disagree with Leroy Butler about this, Packer Hall of Famer, who we have on the Big Show.
Who should be a Hall of Famer, period.
Right, NFL Hall of Famer. But we disagree on this. Leroy seems to think that Clay's legacy would be better served if he stayed inside as a middle linebacker. I tend to believe his legacy is better served if he goes back to playing full-time outside linebacker. What do you think?
You know what? I don't want to sound like I'm going down the middle of the road here, but I am. I think he's effective wherever they throw him, to keep teams off balance. You know, if you want to put him on the left side, right side, keep the offense guessing. Who cares where he plays because he can disrupt, an offense. So, remember a couple weeks ago when Matthews tackled Kaepernick, and he said, "You're no Russell Wilson."
Yep.
If I was Kaepernick, and I would have said, "You're no Von Miller."
Well, but see, this is the thing. Okay. Gery Ellerson, also at the Wendy's Big Show, former Packer Badger running back, said on our show this week that he believes Clay Matthews is the defensive player of the year right now in the NFC.
Who said this?
Gery Ellerson.
Okay. Homer.
Okay, now having said
Gery Ellerson, Homer.
Leroy Butler has said in the last week that he believes Clay Matthews is a Pro Bowler at the middle linebacker position.
Okay.
This year, right now, he's probably a Pro Bowler in the middle. Okay.
There's some good linebackers. I mean, we got tunnel vision in Wisconsin. We see the Packers every week.
But wait a second. I looked up the numbers on this yesterday.
But numbers are deceptive.
Now, tackles-wise and linebacker, so outside and inside, he's way down the list.
Who's Clay Matthews?
Like 25
I
tackles.
have said that for a couple of years.
He's way down the list.
He's one of these impact players that make big plays, but you might not see him for several others.
Right. So then you start talking about, sacks, passes defended, interceptions, stuff like that.
Right.
Now he's up there.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. To me, if you start talking about defensive player of the year, will his low tackle numbers hurt him, or will they ignore it because of the big plays he makes? That would be what decides he is defensive player of the year.
Matthews' reputation is so good around the league. I mean, he's got a name already, so that's going to carry him. I'd be shocked.
So if you're the Packers and you go into the draft, are you looking inside or outside linebacker?
I'm looking at tight end. You and I talked about this about a week or two ago.
Not early.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to impact tight end. And in fact, there's been rumblings about the Vernon Davis.
Davis, yeah.
I mean, to me, it's like going out and getting Keith Jackson. What Ron Wolf did. To me, it's a no-brainer, especially if it's true that they only want like a 4th-round pick.
Right.
I mean, what 4th-round pick is going to have any impact on the team? So I would do that in a heartbeat. But I don't have any problems. They don't need any more coverage guys. They're set in their secondary. So that would make a lot of sense.
Linebackers is where they have to go. And if it was me, I'd move Clay outside and I'd draft 3 middle linebackers in a row. And hopefully 1 or 2 of them. Because I'm not sold on Sam Barrington either. Barrington hasn't been able to stay healthy to prove to me that he can play that position full time. So we don't know what that is. If you don't bring back Perry and Neal, which I'm not convinced they will, and Peppers is another year older, you don't have an outside linebacker if you leave Matthews in the middle.
I would be really surprised if Peppers played beyond this season. I really think he's on his last legs.
Packers, Broncos. Peppers leads the NFC in sacks right now, an outside linebacker.
I know, but it's a long season.
I'm just telling you. Who are you picking, Packers, Broncos?
I said 16-0.
What's the score?
It's 35-24, somewhere in that ballpark.
You get 35 on the Broncos defense?
Sure.
I'm not going to go that far.
Okay,
I'll say the Packers win this one 20-10.
Okay.
20-10. He is Gery Woelfel. I'm Steve Sparky Fifer. We'll talk to you next time here on Sports Junkies, doing a little pack-a-top at RacineSportsZone.com.